Back to the three-handed action then. Troinovsky raises his button.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Vanessa calling a lot out the blinds. She's had a good read on Vladimir. Every hand they played, she's kind of been aware of where she's at and willing to bluff him or make a hero call versus him. Now, for anyone wondering, Vladimir is actually not trying to hide his hole cards. He's just missing the screen. It's very difficult to see. Like, he's been making a conscious effort every hand. He looks back at like 3 times to show the hole card cams. It's not like some of the other times that people like, they think they don't want to give away the information. He's just trying to play his tournament and not really focus on the hole card cameras as much as trying to accumulate all the chips.
Vanessa check to the aggressor. Troinovsky continues for 85,000.
There's John Turner and Z Justin, 2 of the top online players who always are playing these live tournaments as well.
Yeah, Justin just tweeted, busted the turbo, putting an end to a great trip at PCA 10.
Yeah.
What's been your general feeling, Sean, about this year's PCA? I mean, the vibe here seems to have been awesome.
Insane action. Oh, wow. Vladimir had a big hand there, 2 jacks. Vanessa got lucky to not hit anything. But obviously the action's been huge. So many big cash games, so many big Chinese games. The tournament turnouts have been huge. The main event got 1,000 players. This is one of the biggest 25Ks of the year. And every side event has had so many runners. The Atlantis, still beautiful. You got the water slides. I mean, I tell everyone you have to go to PCA once in your life. It's such an experience. Even non-poker players in my family have come out a couple years ago, and also I try to get them to come out every year. Just someplace everyone should go.
Another reminder of that free roll password. T-Coop, T-C-O-O-P. Does the T-Coop float your boat, Sean?
I love the idea of T-Coop. Unfortunately, the timing is very poor for me. I have the NBC Heads Up coming up in a week, and I've been all December traveling, family stuff, Christmas, New Year's, whatever, so I really have to go relax for a couple of days before going out to Vegas. I wish I could play all the events. Maybe after the NBC Heads Up, I'll look to see if the main event's that weekend, and I'll probably fly to Vancouver like I've done before out of Vegas, because I try to play that. I think turbos are some of my best value tournaments, and every time they do a series, their value is so huge. All the satellites are great. The fields are amazing. So, hey, everyone likes to win 200K in a day.
Absolutely. Have to remember that you are one of those poker nomads.
There's Mean Gene, who I actually knocked out twice in this tournament. A very rare feat.
What's in the box?
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's like there's...
Seriously, what is in that box?
Seriously, I love that shoe.
Thank you. It's a lead.
Elky's soul. Won it in a Chinese poker game.
Yeah, Elky's soul's clearly evaporated because his hair has gotten lighter as it's stayed away from his body.
Calls from the small. The mic in the big.
So Vanessa's button raise, flattered by Troinovsky in the small. Mike Watson folds the big. These guys are going to go heads up to the flop once again. And now Phil Gruesome, another high roller regular, joins Z Justin on the rail.
Yeah, you got it with the 10K turbo going on the side. Everyone's kind of peeking over, seeing what's going on. There's a lot of attention on this high roller final table at all times.
Ace, spade, 4 diamonds, 8 clubs, checks.
Check, check on the flop. King of diamonds on the turn.
Good card for Vanessa's range. I don't think she's planning on folding to a bet. She has second nut, no pair with the gutter ball to the nuts.
Troinovsky now leads.
Every hand Vanessa plays, you see she's contemplating all options. Calling, folding, raising, regardless of her hand. She's thinking about what range is she representing, what are they representing. She's just such a high-level thinker. It's great to watch her play.
I'm pretty sure Trojanowski threw some chips in there. It says check
yeah,
on the screen.
he bet, I believe, 80,000. It looks like Vanessa's counting out a decent-sized raise, which, considering Trojanowski has a 5, even if he has ace-5, he isn't really happy by getting raised.
She raises to 295,000 total.
Now, she's set up her image very well by checking back that King 10-6 flop versus Oli with the nuts, so everyone is aware that she can be checking very strong hands back.
Trojanowski thinks about this. I want to say hello to Chris, the magic man in New Zealand. Says, glued to my iPad for the second day running. Excellent tournament, excellent commentating, guys. Keep up the good work. I'm glad to know that someone is using that PokerStars TV app on their iOS device.
Yeah, PokerStars Mobile, greatest invention ever. I just wish we could play like the US data plans.
Trojanowski calls the raise. Remember, we don't know Trojanowski's.
I mean, he almost
card.
always has an ace here, ace-5 off. There's almost no way he's bet calling that with 6-5 or pocket 5s. Maybe 5-4 spades is about the only other hand that he could be calling with.
Deuce on the river, so Vanessa doesn't get there.
I would be very surprised if Vanessa bets again here. If she does, it might just be all in.
Steve O'Dwyer turns up just in time to see Vanessa show queen high. And pocket 5 to Trojanowski.
What a call. I mean, this is why Vladimir's the wild card that he is. I thought there was no chance he'd bet call the turn with just 5s. But he did, and he was right.
Now, when you say wild card, are you saying that sort of as a way to avoid saying bad?
No, I don't think he's bad. He's different, and I think that's one thing about poker is if everyone played the exact same way, a player like Vladimir plays unconventional is going to end up crushing everyone.
No, I don't think so.
If you don't bluff, I must raise on the turn because you have a 10 outs.
Someone hasn't been paying attention.
10 outs. It's so much.
See, Vanessa's sitting there kneeling, but Vladimir's making it clear that he thought that her raise meant a turn gut shot. She checked Jack 10, Queen Jack, Queen 10. And so he actually said, since you didn't bluff the river, I should have raised the turn to make you fold a hand that has so much equity that it does. I mean, that's the thing is, yes, he's a wild card, but that's very high-level thinking. He knew she's not bluffing with absolute air. She's semi-bluffing with a marginal hand that isn't strong enough just to call. If she turned diamonds, she's probably willing to call because she has a lot more equity than a naked gut shot.
And I think that, you know, unless someone spent as much time playing with someone as you have, you might just see a guy who doesn't speak English very well and plays unconventionally and think, oh, this guy doesn't really know what he's doing.
Yeah, I think Vladimir has really impressed me with some of his folds, some of his sizing. He's definitely splashed around every hand, but he's also had it sometimes. He's gotten a lot of value out of his big hands. The guy is well aware of his image against people, and he takes advantage of that when they think that he's only, like, in that spot, he's like, she expects me to only be folding like a king, and he's sitting there willing to call just 2 5s.
So another blind-on-blind confrontation here. Watson raising small to big, Vanessa flats. Neither player hits the flop. Watson now checks.
Yeah, of all, like I said earlier, I would love to see Watson limping the small blind versus Vanessa with the way the stack sizes are. This is one of those great hands to limp king, queen, high because you can induce some bluffs. Like, she's not going to pay him off when it comes to high board a lot. And Vanessa, I'm kind of surprised she doesn't bet that flop. She has the backdoor flush draw. She has ace high, but Watts has a lot of equity, and that's a board that hits Vanessa's range very strongly. I know she's seen Watts open 6-4 suited, but he c-bet that flop when he had a pair. So for him to check, I think he usually has nothing on the flop. So she should be betting the flop and planning on possibly barreling down.
And he's only checking the flop when he has nothing or when he just murders it.
Yeah. Check. And there's not too many hands in a small blind raising range that murders that flop. Well, and even if he does have like a set or 6-5, he doesn't want to give a free card to possible straight draw or flush draw or gut shot, so he's going to be betting those hands. It's a very weird board to go for a check raise.
We check the turn, he now checks the river. And Vanessa, with just ace high, will check behind. And ace high is good.
King high.
By the way, Sean, there is a
Sure.
lot of love for you on Twitter. Kevin's tweet is pretty representative. Says, guys, really enjoy the shows. I'm really glad to hear Sean Deeb. Huge inspiration and great guy. Greetings from Austria.
Thanks.
To be fair, you don't really know Sean. You just can't really say he's a great guy. I happen to agree.
Hey, I just hope that more people realize that poker is not about every day. How you carry yourself, win or lose, means a lot about your personality. And we have some, unfortunately, years ago, all the people got coverage were the people exploding, the Helmuth type blow-ups. And I think if we get more people to act professional, you'll see more amateurs more willing to play, because if you're going to sit there and berate someone, like if I sat there and just started going, Vanessa, you're the worst player ever. How dare you make that call versus me? How bad are you at poker? Like, what is to gain by that? There's no reason to say that. And say, nice hand, and move on.
Yeah, if the hands had been reversed, I wonder what would have happened.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she would have berated me a little bit. But she feels really guilty, and she just leveled herself, which happens. And that's why when two top-level players are playing against each other, it's the I know, she knows. And that's the reason why I picked all the sizings I did, is to make it look as bluffy as possible. And I was not surprised that she called me very light.
So back to the action. Watson folded his button. Vanessa Salps has raised from the small with 9-7 off. Decision on Troinovsky in the big. Now halfway through level 24 of the tournament. 30 more minutes to play at 2040.
Vladimir's counting on a 3-bet, which usually means he's going for it.
And again, we're playing the show one game with Troinovsky. We know he has the King of Diamonds and another card.
It's a big 3-bet. Actually, never mind. I forgot we're 2040.
Oh, it was another king.
See that little smirk? There's Red Bull Robbie, one of the best announcers in the business.
Looks so serious.
Yeah, he's
you guys can't really
out.
see that hairstyle that he has going today, but he has the ski jump going, which I haven't seen that since I was in high school.
It's tough to see in 2 dimensions.
Yeah.
Robbie probably loves you, Sean, because you have a very easy name to pronounce.
Yeah, trust me, he asks Vladimir, or Oli's his name, I go to him, Deeb. And he goes, asshole. Oops. But yeah, Robbie and me have been friends for a long time, even before he started doing commentary. One of the great guys on the tour, always a lot of fun. And if you guys are missing out, the funniest part of these final tables is when Robbie is ribbing the dealers when they make a mistake or don't do something. Like, his little comments to them are some of the funniest things. Obviously, I got to give a big shout out to the whole staff out here, the dealers, the floor. One of the best run tournament series that ever is done. I say every year, I wish that Neil, Mike, everyone in charge here had control of the World Series and every other big tour, because they get the best staff. They know how to cater to the players. Amazing tournament series, great turnouts, and just a wide variety of games. They're always willing to try that new idea, like the Zoom challenge. They did different things. It's just great to see poker progress.
Bluff, huh?
Somebody at PokerStars send this kid a stress ball. He deserves it. He earned it with that speech.
Hey, no, they handed them out yesterday on the bubble. It was Lee Jones is handing them out, and I ended up making a prop bet with Mike Watson, who could rip theirs in half first, and I won that bet. Watts declined, though. He was a little afraid. He was like, you look like you're angry enough to rip it in half. I don't know if I have it in me.
And that was before today's beat.
Yep.
You know, I free rolled. Gave myself a free roll. Didn't work out, but one of these times, my trickery will catch up to you.
I think taking that bet is bad, because like when you can't do it, you just look like such an idiot.
I didn't know if I could do it at the time.
Right.
I was just like I was like, I think I can rip this in half. And so I was like, you want to bet on? Because he's Mad Dog. That's one of the greatest nicknames for anyone.
And that you guys came up with that at the Super High Roller in Barcelona?
I don't
Was it
know.
before that?
That's been around for a while.
Okay.
I think King Dan Smith gave him the nickname when they were going through their nickname craze. But of all the ones, like, you just look at him and he's definitely a Mad Dog.
He's such a Mad Dog.
Yeah.
You never know what that kid's going to do.
He's raised with Jack-10 suited here, and Vanessa will once again defend her big with 8-7. This is hand 57 of the final table, with 3-handed in the 25K high roller.
Still a spot where you would have rather seen him limp there?
Yeah, I just don't understand why you're inflating these pots for someone who's a very good player in position. If you both have wide ranges, Vanessa's going to win the pot a lot, even though Mike has initiative. Vanessa is going to outplay him, going to win without the best hand a lot, and she can control the pot size so much. When the pay jumps are huge right now, And Vanessa should really be more, or I mean, Mike should be well aware that Vanessa can just raise him on any street, and he's in a bad spot if he gets it in, considering the stack sizes, and he is definitely the second best player in the field.
Kevin McPhee chatting to Miranda on the rail.
Take it easy, Kevin. She's engaged.
So Watts continues for 125,000. Vanessa has paired her 7, but Mike, with his 2 live cards and the diamonds, is a statistical favorite here.
Call.
She calls.
You're not folding a pair, and you're certainly not folding
Wow,
2.
that's an interesting turn card, because it now gives Mike a gut shot, but it also completes a lot of the lower hands that Vanessa has. The gut shot's 8-6, 8-5 paired, 6-5 got there. Obviously 8-7 made 2 pair, and then Vanessa just has a queen. She's not planning on folding top pair ever blind versus blind on a drawy board like queen 7-4 with a flush draw. I wanted to ask you guys, what did Mike have when he shoved the river versus Tobias on that 3 diamond board? It was queen 9, XX, river 8 of diamonds.
300,000.
I honestly don't remember.
It was like one of the first orbit, a really big pot him and Tobias played.
Was that the set of jacks?
No, no, it was a queen 9.
Is that when Tobias called off a bunch and folded,
Yeah, he
leaving
folded
himself
river.
not much behind?
Yeah. So I made a tight fold pre there of king 10 off in the
Aces.
big.
He had aces.
He had aces?
Yep. Oh yeah, in the
So proud
first
of my
in the
fold.
first orbit he had,
He had so many big hands.
ace 10, jacks, and aces like in the first 4 or 5 hands.
Okay, yeah. Because I thought people might make fun of me if they noticed I folded like to a min raise and a putt and flat a king 10 off, but I was just like, both these guys are really strong. I guess Tobias had queen jack suited then?
No, Tobias had a pair. I think he
Oh,
paired his
pocket pair?
9 or something.
Oh, 9-10 suit, all right. Really big bet by Watson here, but if you've noticed all of his 2 barrels, he's going on the bigger side. Most people like 1.5 to 2x their previous bet. He's been going 2.5 to 3x a lot, but he's been winning the pots. But Mike also knows his image. He's on the tighter side. But Vanessa can do anything here. I think she's probably going to call the way she's been playing this final table, because I think she believes if she raises, Watson's going to play pretty close to perfectly versus it. He probably is going to stack off ace, king, ace, queen, king, queen, and better, but that's not too much value hands that she gets value out with middle 2 pair.
Already people seeing Vanessa Selbst and Kevin McPhee in the same frame are asking about that hand from Berlin. I believe that all's right with the world. And they are now at peace with each other again.
Yeah, they rated each other a little bit, that hand.
Wow, she's just shoved.
Well, you said she was capable of anything.
How do you possibly choose that size?
Watts is so mad at himself for betting the turn. He knows he can't call. This is all a show. But see, these are the things where if he kept the pot small, limp called, whatever, he could be way more in control, and now she has all the leverage. Like Mike is really managed to pick the sizings. He was playing on bet 3 betting all in with his combo draw, most likely depending on what she picks.
And this is just as a result of bloating that pot pre-flop. I mean, it starts there.
And now Vanessa is so excited. She's begging for a call right now. She knows she definitely has the best hand. He never would have tanked with queens up here, or obviously a set.
Can't call.
Vanessa wins another pot and extends her chip lead.
That might get the Mad Dog foaming at the mouth.
Up to nearly 5.9 million in chips. Mike Watson down to 1.9 million. Troianovski sandwiched between them with around 2.5 million.
Yeah, now this is when Vanessa really ups her gears. She has Watson shorter. They still have plenty of blinds, but she's just going to keep abusing and accumulating chips constantly. And I really like her chances to guarantee a win. While she's going to win this tournament while three-handed, and that's what great tournament players do.
Still 23 minutes on the level. Marius tweets to say, "Hi guys, I played with Mr. Deeb in a T-Coop last year. He check-called my all-in when I was bluffing. I've learned my lesson."
No, keep bluffing me, please. I love it when people try to bluff me.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I usually remember a lot of hands, but I need a little more details than just check calling it all in.
Julian says, "Great commentary, a strong final table and a sick run from Vanessa. Hope I run that good in my exam tomorrow. Good night from the Netherlands." Sadly, in Europe, it's kind of bedtime on a school night, so we're losing some people.
Since we're on the school subject, I give a shout out to Carter King, WQ main event champion, who just started up school himself today. I know he was sweating along. He's a good friend of mine, used to be a roommate. We got a nice little two hands matching up here. Watson raised the button. Vanessa's three-betting, king-queen suited. Watson could shove, he could flat. I mean, king-jack suited plays great, especially versus Vanessa's range here. But I think he might call. Vladimir's got something.
I was going to say, don't forget the Troinovsky factor.
Yeah. Oh, I love how you're going with his last name. That shows you're a great commentator.
Troinovsky's easier for me to say than Vladimir.
Really? I guess I should know Troy, because considering that's my hometown.
He's got sixes, and he lets them go. So it's back on Watson, the original raiser.
That's a surprisingly tight fold by him. I would have thought he might have done something there. 50 blinds deep, just either shove or go something crazy. But I think he's aware that these two are battling, and he's just trying to get top two. And if they bust each other this hand, he gets a giant pay jump, and his equity goes through the roof.
By the way, Sean, one of my favorite ever features on an EPT TV show was you trying to say Russian
the Kiev
surnames.
one? Oh my God.
Awesome.
There were so many consonants in that one. That's not my fault. We got to find that footage on PokerStars TV if they have it somewhere.
It will be there somewhere.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Watson decides to call Vanessa's 3-bet. He'll play the flop in position.
Great flop for Vanessa. She flops the second nut flush draw, has nut no pair. It's an ace-high board and a 3-bet pot when Watson probably doesn't have too many ace-X's. But I still think Watts might float because he's got backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draws, and if she is just bluffing with like queen-6 suited, he's got the best hand with king-jack high.
More famous faces on the rail. Mike McDonald now standing alongside Kevin McPhee.
Both luck sacks on the rail. Kevin and Dylan.
Yeah, two of the more perfectly selected online screen names. I battled with them from my early 180 days, and I was on the first people to defend them when people thought they were multi-counters. I'm like, they play very differently, but they're both really nice guys. And I think that's Max Silverman is also with them, who cashed in this tournament as well. Very nice guy, and you'll definitely be seeing him around.
So Vanessa continues for 260,000. Troinovsky's just enjoying the show right now. He's hanging back with his crew.
Yeah, when you're three-handed and the other two are playing a big pot, you just are excited. You're like fireworks. I don't care what they get it in with. Just please play a big pot for me.
As Sean said, Mike's got the second nut nothing.
I don't know. She picked a big sizing on this flop, so he might end up not floating it. I thought Vanessa would go a little smaller on the ace-high board, but she does have a flush draw, and I think she wants to set up close to being able to shove the turn if she misses or catches like a 10 or a jack to give herself a little more equity.
Looks like Mike's well aware that she's going to be betting this all of the time.
Yeah.
So he calls.
So now it's a very awkward stack size on the turn. It's 1.4 million in a million chip pot. I think I would have liked going a little smaller, a little bigger in Vanessa's spot to make the turn play a little easier. And now she's like, this is a really interesting card because she shoves. She probably isn't getting called by worse too often, but if she bet, it's just like weird. Now she has like showdown value, a flush draw, but I think she's going to check the way she's been playing. Nope. I'm clearly way off on how Vanessa's playing today, which is pretty funny considering how I got her to spaz it off. I guess if she picks a bet size here, it's going to be like very small, 250 or 300K. Because she knows she has him board locked a lot. If she has him beat, he almost has no equity with her pairing a flush draw.
She did check. There you go, buddy.
I finally got it right. Yes.
Back in there.
Yeah, she did the old pump fake and then checked.
Now, if I'm in Watson and someone does the pump fake check, that usually means they have something, but not everything. It's more marginal. I wouldn't mind seeing a bet of 400,000 from Watson or even a shove. Because it's such a dry board, it could easily be shoving an ace to protect against straight draws, flush draws, all those things.
Let's see how Sir Watts reads it.
I think I hear Jason Mercier's laugh in the background. I think echoes through the room.
You can hear Daniel almost always, too, on the live broadcast.
By the way, the rail has now been joined by Tom Marchese and Andrew Chen.
Yeah, Chen is one of Watson and Timex's very good friends. Actually, the last time I was at Bahamas a couple of years ago, made a final table that he went on to win. He plays really well.
Mike's got a good portion of his chips locked up in this hand now.
Yeah, but that's a really good sizing to shove in the river. Vanessa is probably going to call. I mean, check shoving, I think anything he's willing to bet for value is going to be not bet folding, and anything he's bluffing with, she might as well check call river or get there with spades at open jam.
How sick would the 10 of spades be as a river card?
You're just evil.
Yeah, it's dirty, man.
That's what I do.
You just want to go home, speed up this broadcast, get heads up as fast as possible. You're probably like rooting against me as well. You're like, if Vanessa's a chips, he'll go faster than Sean.
So she does call. And we go to the river. It's the 2 of spades. There's the second nut flush for Vanessa.
I expect her to bet now because I think Watts will just realize he'll check back a lot of his value one pair hands. And you also could expect Vanessa to try to bluff shove spades. She has like Queen Jack, 9-10.
Right,
tougher
tougher to get a check raise in here though.
Yeah, it's not. It wouldn't never be a check raise. It'd be a check call because they have 2/3 pot behind. Wow, she does check.
The trap opens.
Let's see if Watts falls for it.
I mean, does he really think Vanessa Selbst is giving up?
Yeah, it's very weird for him to think she'll check call turn and check fold river, even though everything got there. Jack 10 got there, spades got there.
I just think this is another situation where
you're going to see a
way more
Helmuth
likely
style call too if he jams.
She's just way more likely to bet when she has nothing than she's to check.
He shoves!
Oh boy.
Call.
She snap calls and Mike Watson is eliminated in 3rd place.
I thought you might have turned that one.
We lose Sir Watts from the 25K high roller. He finished 3rd in the super high roller in Barcelona. Finishes in the same spot here at the PCA.
My friends, on the turn, you have a flush draw.
Vladimir's been really solid on his reads. He actually,
Exactly that hand, yeah.
there was one other hand where, the Kings one. He went over to his rally, actually whispered to me, I told him you had Kings or 6s. Like I say, the guy is smarter than people give him credit for. His reads on people on hand strength and the way the hands go down are pretty solid.
So Mike Watson collects more than $462,000 for his 3rd place finish, and we are going heads up. It's Vanessa Selbst against Vladimir Troyanovsky for the title, the trophy, and the first prize of nearly $1.9 million. And Vanessa has a 3-1 chip lead over her opponent.
How fast is this final table going? I thought it was going all night, and you're going to be done midday. That's crazy.
Make a flush, make a set. Make a flush, make a set.
How do you like Vlad's chances against Vanessa heads up?
I mean, obviously, giant dog, especially with these stack sizes. Vanessa's way more comfortable, 60 blinds deep. She can double them up and still barely be the chip leader. So it's going to, but it could take a while. Vladimir is capable of winning some small pots. He's going to be aggressive enough to battle with her.
With every elimination, their wedding gets a little more fancy.
Pretty good spot to be in.
If I wasn't friends with Watts too, I would have been chanting USA really, really loudly and obnoxiously right there.
Classic American.
You see Vanessa's just focused. She's thinking about what she has to do. She's in the zone, and this is where she just smells the blood in the water.
Small Nobu dinner. I guess we could do a light Nobu. Does transition on the drinking.
Yeah, Watts is planning on drinking with his drinking team. Dan Smith is one of the best drinking partners you can find.
Really? Hardigan's not so great at it. I might have to hit up Dan Smith.
Yeah, he's you'll start partying with him on the tour if you get involved.
Ace of hearts. Hit a royal draw, so.
60% of a royal. Seems like a hand I could throw there, but whatever.
Yeah, like in Watts' spot, considering I played post flop, if you really think she's as wide as he does to play that hand on the flop turn river combos, probably should just shove pre with 45 blinds.
If you're gonna leap into Kevin's arms at the end, just to like finally silence the chick mysterious.
We're gonna kiss.
I like it. If I win.
Stop making out.
If I win. If I lose, I'll punch you in the throat.
Okay. It all went wrong.
So I guess if I win one later, I'm gonna have to go jump into Vanessa's arms to prove that we have no hard intentions.
That thread is still going on 2+2, by the way, the Selps versus McPhee, and if you haven't seen the hand, it is on PokerStars.tv.
What? 2040.
Who was it who tweeted recently? They thought it was the best hand of televised poker. It was Doc Sands.
Doc Sands, yeah.
50 effective. Do I have time to run to the bathroom? Can we take a? We can take a quick break. Maybe 10 minutes even.
A little shorter than that. More like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I guess we're taking a break.
All right, I think I may be switching over to the Russian broadcasts because heads up may go quickly, and I got to go. Apparently, I'm getting adopted. Me and Scott Seaver, I was told, are honorary Russians right now. So have to go give them a little time. But it's been great, guys. As always, great broadcast, and hopefully I see you again next year at PCA.
Thank you very much, Sean Deeb. How will the 25K high roller conclude? We are already heads up after just 4 hours play. Vladimir Troianovski with 60 big blinds, Vanessa Selps, monster chip leader with 195 big blinds, a 3-1 lead over Troianovski. Let's see how the final table played out today. Pretty fast and furious with big hands early doors. Big pair against big pair. Ace-Jack against Queens sealed the fate of Micah Raskin. Ace-King against Eights. No help for Tobias Reinkemeyer, out in 7th. Eights into Jacks. Goodbye, Bryn Kenny. Next out the door, Ola Shemian. Sean Deeb was next to go. That sick beat at the hands of Vanessa Selps. Then we lost Shemian. And just before the break, the bluff shove from Mike Watson. Snap called by Vanessa Selps with the second nuts.
Our heads up. But now I must do last step.
Polite laughter.
This is yours now?
Joe Stapleton joins me. James Hartigan calling the action. You can get in touch with us. Use the hashtag PCALive. Email nuts@pokerstars.tv.
2410 779.
And as we were saying with Sean Deeb, Joe, just before the break, with that massive chip advantage and her style of play and her experience, Vanessa's got to be a huge favorite here.
You've got to, you know, if you take the side-by-side, the tail of the tape, I think Vanessa ticks the box in every single category. Now, the one thing that Troianovski does have going for him.
Of the PCA 10, super high roller, just high roller. We have made it to heads-up action where we have Vladimir Troianovski with 2,410,000 and Vanessa Selps, who has 7,790,000. 5,000 nannies, 20,000 small, big blind, 40,000, 14 minutes left at this level. Good luck to you both. Shuffle up and deal, please.
So let's get cards in the air. And just to back end what you were saying, Joe, Roberts just tweeted that Russian is better than people give him credit for. His funky play and weirdo expressions could upset Selpst.
Now, I wonder if he means upset as in like make her upset or upset this match. Probably both.
Bit from column A, bit from column B. So still 20-40 with a 5K ante, 14 more minutes on this level. Then the blinds go up to 25-50 with a 5K ante.
10 with the button, and actually raises makes it 85,000.
Troinovski's button.
We start things off with a domination already.
He raises with the ace-7. Vanessa in the big blind with ace-10. Just ignore the graphics. It's Troinovski who's small here on the button.
Hey, I still screw that up too.
Vanessa re-raises.
Vanessa will 3-bet.
55,000.
So we're on hand number 59. Didn't get to heads up play yesterday until hand 100?
About 150, I want to say.
150. Have to wonder what Troinovski's going to do here with an ace. You'd expect Vanessa to 3-bet fairly regularly.
Wow, he folds.
And it was the right fold.
Liam has just tweeted to say, I've just watched the Selps versus McPhee hand. Absolutely brutal. But it's all good now. Bear in mind that happened back in April. A lot of time has passed since then, and granted that TV show has only aired in the last few months, but it is water under the bridge for these guys.
I think they were well over it by the time it aired.
It's a first blood for Vanessa, extending her chip lead. And now it's her button, and she will raise.
Raises 80,000.
80.
Ace-9 suited. And Troinovski defends.
Wow, 2 aces to both players in the first 2 hands. I would guess that his second card isn't as good as a 9, or we probably would have seen a 3-bet.
He checks, and Vanessa with the nut flush draw will bet.
Ace-9 suited versus ace-8 suited. Well, it can't be ace-8 suited, but versus ace-8 would be pretty interesting here.
She continues for 100,000. Troinovski calls. Very good chance that they're now chopping this.
Vanessa's still got tons of equity either way, as long as she's not up against a full house. Keep building this pot in case a spade comes.
That's about 230,000.
Even if they are chopping, she's free rolling.
Troinovski calls.
You know, even if his other card isn't playing, which is not likely to. Oh boy, there's the spade on the river. Now, until that spade hit, I was going to say, you know, having an ace on this board is going to be good a whole lot of the time. Now, assuming Troinovski does not have the full house, I have to wonder how much he'll pay off with ace high.
Wow,
That's
she
a checks. Wow.
Ace high flush.
Yeah, I figured I was free rolling.
Very cautious.
Free roll, that's what I bet.
What did Troinovski
I didn't think I
have?
could value bet though.
Ace-7.
7.
Maybe I could have bet.
Maybe I call. You all in.
If you go all in, that's snap call. Snap call.
Vanessa
If
now
you all
to
in, maybe I'm snap call.
Vanessa now with
Well, good
8.3
thing neither
million.
of us went all in then. It would be very difficult to know.
You can see why she didn't bet there. Troinovski did have one of the hands, obviously, that might call a bet, but a lot of times she's only getting action there if she's beat.
85. It was 85 now.
Troinovski on 1.9 million. We saw in the background there the faces of the previous high roller winners at the PCA. It's a tournament that was added to the schedule in 2009. Elke was the inaugural high roller winner, and the runner-up was a guy called Will Molson. The next year, William Reynolds won the high roller. The runner-up was a guy called Will Molson. Third time lucky for Mr. M. Will Molson was the champion in 2011, and last year's high roller winner was Alexei Bilokur, who beat Jonathan Duhamel heads up.
And just for everyone out there, James Hardigan, all that was straight off the dome for this guy. He was not reading that from anywhere. He just knows it.
I couldn't remember what hand Mike Watson had at the beginning of today, but I can remember stuff I commentated on 4 years ago.
All I can tell you about the last 4 years here is who ended up getting in a fight at the nightclub. I can tell you every single one for the last 4 years.
Oh man, that nightclub is cursed. 9, 10, 10. There are some evil spirits operating there, I'm telling you. And I don't mean the kind you drink.
Bet.
40,000. That's a both slot will win this spot.
You had me beat no matter what.
Yeah, he had you beat big time.
He sure did.
Oh, Perrier with lime.
Let's hear from our third place finisher.
It's a lime.
Mike Watson is on the rail.
Green, lime, not lemon.
Thank you.
This field was great. I mean, anytime you get 200 players or more and such a big buy-in, it's pretty much always going to be softer than, you know, the really big buy-in exclusive fields that only have 40 or 50 players. So definitely a lot of value. Definitely, you know, still a huge buy-in, but drew a lot more players than the really super high rollers. And yeah, I thought it was a great tournament.
So with Watson out in third, we are heads up. Selps the chip daddy, or should I say chip mama.
Well, I think if we're up to Vanessa, there would be no gender roles.
4-1 chip lead now for Vanessa.
When I went out to that lunch with Vanessa and her girlfriend over Christmas, I told her, I was like, look, I have a confession to make. One time very early in my career, I made a joke about you that I don't know if it would have ever upset you, but I might as well just tell you about it now in case you ever end up seeing it or hearing it. And she's like, I would not have cared for that joke, actually. And she went on to explain because it was a joke, you know, that sort of put people into specific gender roles, and that's sort of one of the things she typically crusades against. And I threw myself on the mercy of her forgiveness.
Yes.
Re-raise makes a total 190.
Raise from Vanessa, the 3-bet from Troinovsky gets the job done.
She forgave me.
I'm glad the story has a happy ending. The fact that you had lunch at Christmas implies that all is good between you and Vanessa.
The happier ending was that she paid for lunch.
So this is hand 65 of the final table.
Raise. Okay.
Raise makes it 85,000, and this folds to Vlad will win this spot.
Raise and take it. So, a new tournament made its debut at this year's PCA. We talked about when the high roller came onto the schedule in 2009. Well, in 2013, we introduced the world's first ever open-face Chinese tournament. This is the game which is taking the poker world by storm. Normally played for cash, but here at the PCA, we found a way of running it as a tournament. And I believe Peter Jetten was the winner of this inaugural tournament.
Nice to see Peter win it. He took a bath in the big game. He ended up doubling up our last loose cannon in the only spot that it could have possibly happened. Aces versus kings. In one of the last hands of that week. I'm surprised in this day of political correctness, we can call anything Chinese.
Vanessa still with 8 million. Troinovsky on around 2 million. But of course, the blind's still relatively low.
28.
Vanessa up over 200 big blinds. Not often you see that in heads up.
It's just silly, really.
This raises makes it 80,000. Call.
One of those rare occasions when we actually see both of Troianovski's hole cards. And he calls Vanessa's raise. We go to the flop, which is 699.
Both pair their 6. Vanessa's got Troianovski way out kicked.
A lot of chop possibilities, though. 24% chance of a split here. Five of spades on the turn. I know there's a lot of people out there asking about the free roll. We'll get to that after this hand.
Bet.
That's 70,000.
Troianovski decided to take a stab at this after Vanessa checked back the flop. She's not folding a pair.
Nope.
Call.
She calls. All the river bring. 3 of clubs. So Vanessa's hand is best. Reckon this goes check, check.
Check, check, bet, call.
Looks like Troianovski does want to bet the river.
180.
Call.
180,000, a quick call.
Showdown.
And Troianovski drops below the 2 million chip mark, down to 1.765 million.
Two pair of bigger kickers, she will win this pot.
So not sure if this final table will still be going in an hour's time, but that's when the PCALive free roll kicks off. $1,500 in the prize pool. Many of you asking for the password. We have been giving it out at regular intervals today. Just to remind you, it is T-Coop, in honor of the Turbo Championship of Online Poker, which begins on the 17th of January with 50 fast-paced tournaments. T-Coop is the password for the free roll. So that's TCOOP, all lowercase.
I am so glad that you explained that the T-Coop means turbo coupe, because I thought it was the toilet coupe, like you just play it on your laptop on the toilet. So thank you for clarifying, because my legs fall asleep.
Great, that's another image of you in my head that I don't need.
At least I have a laptop covering it.
85,000.
Everybody does it, by the way.
Call.
You know your laptop's been in the bathroom. Everybody out there, y'all know your laptop's been in the bathroom.
Troianovski button raising with 10-6 here. Vanessa calls with at least a queen. Troianovski's paired one of his cards.
Bet 85.
85,000.
You know, somebody on Twitter had a typo. They kept spelling Vanessa's name wrong, but they kept spelling it sell best, which I think is appropriate. She is one of the best.
Will win this pot.
Check, bet, fold. Troianovski gets some back. At the moment, and I know it's early days in this heads-up battle, Joe, but Troianovski is winning the small pots. Vanessa is winning the bigger pots. Troianovski is tending to win either pre-flop or on the flop, but Vanessa is getting him to the river and getting maximum value on her big hands.
And I'd say there have been probably maybe even more big pots than there have been small pots. So not only is she winning the bigger ones, but it seems like more of them.
There's that password you need for the free roll.
Also because coop sounds a little like poop. Could be why I thought that.
I know you can't see it, but I am just shooting him a stare of contempt. So blinds up, 25.50 with a 5K ante.
100,000.
Vanessa min raises. Troianovski defends. Ace deuce against 6-4. Well, Troianovski has flopped a pair. Selpst has flopped a gut shot.
Got backdoor clubs as well. Selpst continues. Pair's pretty strong, heads up.
Raises makes it a total 250,000.
Well, I don't know if it's that strong. Probably not a value raise.
Vanessa not going anywhere. She calls. Ace of clubs. 2-pair now for Troianovski. Selps picks up the flush draw.
It's a pretty interesting card.
Hand shaking there for Troianovski.
No one's folding now. Will Vanessa hit yet another river? Slows down once he makes 2-pair.
Interesting.
Maybe he wants to give Vanessa a chance to try to take a stab at this. Let her do the work for him. Give her a little rope, as they say. Even though she's behind, when she bets, she will be building a pot. 1 out of every 4 times she's going to make her hand on the river.
$225,000 with the flush draw, with the gut shot. How's Troianovski going to respond with his 2-pair? Remember, he check raised the flop. Is he going to now check raise the turn? Possibly check raise all in? No, he just calls.
Yeah, I think that check raising there doesn't do you a ton of good. If she's got a hand like the one she's got, it's probably, oh boy.
Wow.
She does in fact hit the river yet again.
It's not the flush, it's the straight that comes in on the river. And Troianovski has roughly a pot-sized bet behind.
It's not inconceivable for her to have a 4 in her hand. You know, she's got something.
I totally agree with you, Joe, that check raising that turn would not be the conventional move, but Troianovski is anything but conventional. And he can make it work for himself, but he's bet 500,000 on the river.
Other than it being a 4-card straight board, you know, her hand is a little disguised. I think she, you know, has to raise.
Well, she must be thinking, look, he's just bet 500 out of 1.3 million. Surely I can get the lot here. Seal the deal right now.
All in.
She shoves on him.
Raising all in. That's the move. All in. Stack.
Troianovski doesn't insta-call. I mean, I know this is for his tournament life. This is for the title. Tough to fold 2-pair heads up.
Well, it's not a great 2-pair. Couple of draws did come in on the river. You know, there's not, I don't know, unless she's straight bluffing, he's not beating anything that she's raising for value.
Miranda knows if he calls and has the worst hand, it is all over. And Vanessa will be a high roller champion here at the PCA.
You know, she's not shoving ace-king or ace-jack, I don't think. Open-ended on the flop, got there.
The more hard time he takes, the more likely he is to fold this.
This calls for over $600,000 if he finishes in second place.
Absolutely a big difference between first and second place money in this tournament. He's locked up 792,000. Of course, if he wins this, it's more than 1.4 million.
He's probably wishing he raised the turn now.
Last year, this tournament was won by a Russian player, Alexei Bilakur. Troianovski would love to make it 2 in a row for Russia. Troianovski's been thinking for just over 2 minutes.
You know, when you say it's hard to lay down 2 pair, yes, that is technically correct, but it's pretty much the same as 1 pair.
He folds. He lets it go. So Troianovski leaves himself some chips. 775,000 to be precise. Vanessa now with 9.4 million.
A nice fold, by the way.
Down, but not out. And we play on. Vanessa looking slightly confused how she didn't get it all. She's thinking, if the guy's betting 500,000 with 775 behind, surely he's going to call me when I shove.
Oh, it's 50, right?
Yes, please.
You know, maybe in some cases,
do you have there?
bet folding there would be a mistake for that amount, but, you know, he folded the loser.
Oh, it's 7. Okay.
Just noticed that awesome tash on the rail.
Hulk Hogan has really let himself go.
So Troianovski now down to 16 big blinds on the ropes.
100,000 Vanessa folds and bottle in this box.
Hulkster's a huge fan of Vanessa Selbst, brother.
Time to introduce our latest guest in the booth. He's a member of Team PokerStars Pro who had a deep run in the main event at this year's PCA and, of course, won the inaugural Super High Roller back in 2011. Eugene Kachalov, always a pleasure. Great to have you here.
Hello, boys.
Look at you slumming it here, doing commentary on the regular high roller. This guy plays super high rollers.
By the way, never mind the poker. I can tell you as a fact, Joe and I have made every effort to be in the gym here at Atlantis as often as
I didn't
possible.
show up that time because
Yeah, I've seen you there a lot.
Doesn't matter what time of day you go to the gym.
Yeah, you guys are there all day.
Elkie and Eugene live in that gym.
We no longer play poker. We go to the gym professionally.
You're wasting away, buddy, by the way. You're getting so skinny. The last time I saw you, you were thin. Now you're even thinner.
Yes, and I noticed Papa Kachalov was in the gym with you, Eugene.
Yeah.
Lot of checks.
What's your dad throw up on the bench? 4 or 5 hundo?
Vanessa betting 80,000. Lot folds and Vanessa will win this pot.
Vanessa wins this one with a C-bet. Well, from our position, Eugene, it's almost over bar the shouting. Although we have seen people make bigger comebacks than this. But Vanessa's really got him where she wants him now.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, I mean, wow. I think it's almost like meant to be. Feels like.
Granted, she has got lucky along the way. She's hit cards when she needed to, especially in that huge hand against Sean Deeb.
Yeah, I've heard about that hand. That was something. I don't know.
But let's not forget also how well she played those hands against Ola Shemian and Mike Watson, where she got them to bluff off their entire stack to her.
What was the hand in Mike Watson? I didn't see that. I don't see that one.
She rivered the second nut flush, and he basically just shoved with complete air.
King high. Canadian fans on the rail. That's what I'm talking about.
That is some of the best facial fuzz we've ever seen in the vicinity of a final table.
That is Hulk Hogan, isn't it? Gained a little weight, though.
Hulk Hogan doesn't care for dry lips, brother.
Vladimir Troyanovsky gets a walk. So let's take a pause from the action and bring you the latest installment of Stapes' Guide to the Bahamas.
If you're planning on visiting the islands of the Bahamas, I have one piece of advice. Hope you like conch because it's in everything. What is conch? Conch is the meat that's scraped out of the inside of a conch shell, and every single piece of it has been handled by this guy. Yep, cut right toward the palm there, because there's nothing better than bloody snail guts being served to thousands of Carnival Cruise customers and telling them that it's lobster. Oh yeah, we do know what you're talking about, lol.